See the loft, superbly built, beautifully built, and that, a lot of good ideas in the loft.
My main objective is to keep your pigeons healthy and to get you to the race. Birds go away on a Friday night with a local club. When I enter the club, the birds are took off me. These days all the birds are done with electronic timing. So the birds are all put through for me. I get a sheet at the end of the day telling me you have X number of pigeons away. I have no dealings, race marking these pigeons. And after the race, another bonus, I have nothing to do with the result either. I take the clock back to my local club and they do the runoff for me. So that keeps everything 100%. I'm in pigeons 40 years. I'm racing competitively for 30 years. And this is just a new venture for me. But these pigeons are treated the way I race my own pigeons. My main objective is to keep your pigeons healthy and to get you to the race. So when the birds arrive at the loft, they're injected for the paramaxo. Then they're treated for canker. The birds are all put into this section together. There's a litter on the floor and it's already treated for coccidiosis. So the birds, the litter the birds are lying in is treated also for diseases. As you can understand, these pigeons are coming from all different lofts all over the UK. So my main objective, first of all, is health. Once I get the health, everything else is easy. The darkening system, the young birds are raced on a darkening system. The last Saturday in March, which is the shortest day, they're then changed from natural light to darkness. To keep the darkness as simple as possible and the pigeons as healthy as possible, I like a flow of air through the loft. So instead of putting blinds up, closing the pigeons in, I've decided I've come up with a new idea. Basically, the doors are darkened on the inside. When I close them, as you can see for yourself, it's black. Then when I go into the system, or into the section, sorry, it's just a matter of closing the skylights. This way, the birds are still in fresh air. They're not closed up. So again, it's to keep your pigeons as healthy as possible. After the birds come off the darkened system, I split them. For the simple reason, I like to separate the cocks and hens, not for motability, not to try and, just to try and keep the hens as good as they can. Because you know yourself, when the young cocks are driving away, your hens are getting eggy, and automatically that's you at a disadvantage. And I want everybody to be at a level par. So this is mainly the section. When I go to clean the birds out, it's just a matter of lifting the perches, then lifting the floors. Basically clean the floors, put them back down again, put them back down again, and everything's like brand new again. Everything's simple but clean. It's cleaned, and the racing program is cleaned every week. The grids are lifted every week, it's cleaned. At the same time, if you don't clean it, then you don't see your droppings. As everybody knows, through the health of pigeons, a lot of it's through the droppings. So I can check the droppings through the floor, and if a pigeon's off at all, he's automatically isolated. So keep the pigeons healthy, it's cleaned once a week. The birds are fed twice a day. I feed the birds as I would feed my own birds. Like they're fed around about 1.25 ounces a day. They're not kept hungry. The birds, the further the races go, the more food they get, basically. And the birds are fed 7 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock at night. I would like to thank Fraser's. They're a big company in Banbridge, and they're going to support me as much as they can. This is Neil Fraser from Banbridge Feeds. They've kindly sponsored Premier One Loft this year. Neil and I have went into it in big detail about the feeding for the pigeons. Neil has come up with this idea, and I think it's a very, very good idea for pigeons to be flying as far as 420 kilometres in the final race. To me, it's a very good mix. Neil, would you run through it a wee bit?
Certainly.
For me, please.
Just like to thank you very much for asking me to be involved. Very proud to be involved
Thank you.
with such a well-established one loft race. The two mixes combine a lot of aspects of nutrition within pigeon racing. Again, we have a high carb, quite high protein mix as a staple racing mix, and we also have quite a high oil content energy mix as well, with a good 10% inclusion of sunflower hearts and a 5% inclusion of whole toasted soybeans. Now certainly the racing mix, because it is a sprint medium distance mix we're looking at, we've got all your usual sort of high carb seeds, your safflower, your white peas, your blue peas, a good amount of white wheat, mung beans, then moving into the likes of safflower and a few oil seeds, and again quite a high inclusion again of whole toasted soybeans, just for a nice amount of oily protein, and certainly as soya goes, the best sort of spectrum of your amino acids as well.
Yeah, it's a stronger mix.
Yeah, it's a good, strong sprint, middle distance racing mix, and certainly again for a good amount of sugars. You've got your Italian grits maize, and again for a wee bit of oilier maize, you've got your Hungarian red as well in there. On the oilier energy mix, again there's a good amount of carbs to help break it all down as well, but you've got a very, again, high inclusion of sunflower hearts, again a high inclusion to aid water retention in the race, your paddy rice, but again that's your standard high fat, high oil content mix for really push them on in the sort of the middle distance race.
Yes, the pigeons aren't going to get it easy, so they need the food to back up exactly what to do. Another good thing about using Fraser's products, at Premier One Loft, we're trying to keep this as natural as we can for the health of the pigeons. So Neil, could you just run through the products basically?
Certainly, what we'd certainly recommend in the health or the natural health of birds for this particular race would be a staple of these particular products here. This particular product, P3, is a probiotic prebiotic. Now, in layman's terms, the way that this actually works is the prebiotic side regulates the acidity of the digestive system, boosting the bird's own natural immunity anyway. The probiotic side of it will actually latch on to any nasties within the digestive tract and flush them straight through. The Reviva is a very, very strong electrolyte, and certainly this one will, a pot of this size will do you a good long time. It's a couple of teaspoonfuls in 500 ml of warm water, shaken, and into 2 litres of drinking water straight after a race, and it's packed full of isotopic salts and calcium that the birds will certainly need after a hard fly.
Yeah.
This particular product I'm very, very happy with. It's a natural treatment for coccidiosis, which certainly is
very
causes everyone problems.
Again,
coccidiosis is one of the most nasty parasitic organisms that's very, very hard to treat, especially if you're have a real bad infestation of coccidium. This one here, PRP, is an excellent respiratory product.
Natural product again.
Again, it's a natural product, contains essential herbs really to clear the digestive airways, make breathing more easily really for any pigeon during flight. But the good thing about this particular product is the actual carrier itself is natural vitamin E and cellplex selenium, which in turn will help boost immunity as well as clean the digestive airways, or clean the airways. And then two other products which I can't speak highly enough of is good old cider apple vinegar. Cider apple vinegar in itself contains a litany of naturally occurring vitamins, but again, cider apple vinegar in itself is a probiotic and prebiotic in itself. And then again, for racing, this product here, Origo Boost, is a very high energy boost, if you like.
Yeah.
The carrier, the main content of it is glucose oil, and it contains echinacea, which is an immunity booster, ginseng again, which helps with the whole immunity of the bird, and essential oil of oregano, which in itself is a very powerful probiotic. So with the combination of these products, and certainly the likes of the Origo Boost, a couple of days before the birds head off, really to boost the energy levels, in conjunction with the energy corn,
they're basically getting everything they need.
Everything they need.
You know, and that's the reason why Premier One Loft has come to Neil and Fraser's products, because we want to do everything as natural as possible. I'm Brian Foulis from Premier One Loft, and I have a couple of my comrades in pigeon racing with me. This is Gary Jennings and a real good friend of mine, Ronnie Johnson, who's been in the sport forever.
2011, I think, was a smashing experiment for Brian. He took it on himself. He's done all the work himself. He's been everywhere, England and Dublin, done a lot of work for it, and all on his own bat basically. The loft behind, as you can see, is excellent for the number he's going to have. Hopefully, he had just over 100. It's always hard to get started. Everybody just didn't know what was going to happen, but I think now we've got to the stage that they know what's going to happen in 2012. And he's not looking to have 400 or 500. You get 200 plus, and that'll be it. He's just going to keep it as tight as he can. He's already had a lot of information, a lot of help, and a lot of pigeons now already entered from England and Scotland. So that's a good start for him. And if you want to be in, you want to be in fairly quickly, because I reckon it'll fill up well before the end of the year.
This year being my first time ever entering a One Loft race, I found it to be very professionally run. I met you, Brian, in Blackpool in January, and you invited me to join the One Loft race. The bird was entered in mid-March. A few visits to the loft before the hotspot races. Seeing the progress of the birds, the condition of the birds, explained your training regime. Very impressed with the overall way that the One Loft race was managed and run throughout the year.
Thanks very much, Gary.
One of the pluses, I think, on Brian's side basically is for his individual race. There are several individual races here in England, still One Loft races, and in England there are a lot too. And they race in their own small transporter, so really the pigeons from the loft is going all on their own. Brian has took a different line here. He has gone to take the pigeons with an organisation, and he has chosen the Ulster Federation, which is the largest, which is the oldest in Ireland. And they go on a Friday night with the Sydenham Club, and that means that they're flying with up to 5,000 pigeons every weekend. And if that doesn't give them a bit of experience, I don't know what will. And that's spread out all over Belfast and up to Andersonstown, down in here to Sydenham, East Belfast, North Belfast, West Belfast, Ligoneel. So the pigeons are well trained, and I think that's a big plus. At the end of the year, he has got the team here ready. They'll soon be presented, and then they will be either sold or online. But there'll be some cracking pigeons for sale in them, because as Brian said, with the winner and the second, the cream will come to the top, and what's left here is certainly the cream from it. But that's a big plus, I think, flying with an organisation. It means the pigeons definitely are well split up. And I think you get the better pigeon couple like that. They're not following them, you know, tail to light. I had went to several of the One Loft races, and they come in batches. But here, twice I came here to watch them from hotspot races. They came basically 1 and 2 in single. So it was quite an experience to see them come in like that.
We're now at the end of November. The birds they're not 100% through the molt, but they're 90% through the molt. As I said to you from the start of the video, that my main objective was the condition of the pigeons. Now we're into November, the birds will be getting sold off. So if you have a wee look at the birds, you'll see not even in the on season, also in the off season, Premier One Loft looks after your pigeons 100%. These are the two main pigeons, the first and second ace pigeon in Premier One Loft this year. The cock is 08 Express, bred known by Gary Jennings. The blue-white flight hen is a beautiful Suchin hen, bred by Johnson Brothers from Andersonstown. So it shows you the quality of the pigeon that's coming to Premier One Loft.